Okay, welcome everybody. It is 5:01. I am calling this meeting to order. We'll do a quick roll call. Carlos Lopez, I am here. Crystal Pilkington is not here. Angie Curley,
Here.
Christy Rushing,
Here.
Luke Heithold,
Here.
and we officially have a quorum. Okay, now we need a motion to approve the agenda.
I make a motion. I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
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 So moved. Okay, now we're going to move into the approved fence bid and budget adjustment, and Melissa's going to run us through that.
Okay, you guys should have the staff summary report I have in here. It goes over, this is all due to the flooding event that happened. We have currently now I can't even think what type of fence it is. It is a aluminum fence. I contacted All Inclusive Rec, which is who installed Billy's Playground. They contacted their subcontractor. They are no longer in business. They could not get a hold of the contractor for the fencing. Contacted them multiple times over several months. Couldn't get any answers. So I contacted local fence company. They reached out to their supplier reached out to manufacturer would never get back with the supplier. Fence company contacted supplier, would not get back to company, so we could never get pricing on the aluminum fence. The fence company then recommended that we go with a steel fencing, especially since it's along the creek and we're wanting to make it strong to where this doesn't happen again. One, we couldn't find replacement parts for what's there. And two, it is a very flimsy metal to begin with, so it's easily vandalized and damaged. And especially if the creek happens to rise again and things bang into it. It sheared a part of it off, like it sheared off the part of the fence from the base. So it's not a very sturdy material. With the steel fencing, they can repair easily and find replacement parts. So their recommendation is to go with steel fencing. We're going to try to send that in with the mitigation portion of it to where we state our case that we have tried to find somebody to repair the fence. I have 3 letters from 3 different companies stating that was the case, that we tried. It's in your packet. I got 3 bids. Well, I reached out to 3 different companies. I have 2 bids from fence contractors. 2 local were contacted and 1 that the city has worked with previously. I received 2 bids back. 1 from D&K Fencing and 1 from J&M Construction and Fencing LLC. My recommendation is that we go with the D&K Fencing at $10,500, and that would be to replace that entire west side of the fence. We will then salvage what panels we can and keep them, because the east side of the playground will still be the aluminum fencing, so that we can use those panels and pieces to replace any damaged parts that are over there. And we would be taking it from the previous year's fund balance, and it is currently at $636,948. And this would also be sent to FEMA for consideration for the mitigation portion. Because FEMA wants you to put it back exactly how it was, but we cannot do that. I've been trying to get that done, and it's holding up everything else because they didn't separate it into other projects because from what I understand, the money portion had to be a certain amount before mitigation would be considered, from what I understand, with FEMA. So it was put in one big package, like the playground,
Right.
the fencing, the creek. We're waiting all of that for our funding to come back in, because if you looked at the last time she gave us that packet in the FEMA updates, we had not been reimbursed for the playground yet, because she can't send all the final paperwork in until the fence is done and the creek is done. So I'm just requesting a budget adjustment to get that fence portion fixed so we can move along.
Okay, I have a question, might be a
Yes.
simple question, but, so because we can't get the exact same fence for FEMA, will they just give us, what would the original cost of the previous fence be? And we'd have to pay the difference, or are they still willing or able to?
We are hoping with the case that we have before them, and we're sending documentation as to why we needed to go through mitigation, that they will be okay with the documentation that we have to prove that this is why we're upgrading it
Right.
and making it better. Because one, we couldn't find it to
Right.
match, and two, to make it a sturdier surface for future events.
Right, so worst case scenario,
Worst case scenario, we're out $10,500.
okay,
Which is 3% of what we expect to give, isn't it like $350,000 is the, I can't remember, but it's a
Yeah,
lot.
Right.
It's a big number.
But yeah, well over 300,000.
but would they even consider refunding us what the old one would have been? Or is there any way to
No.
even get that information?
And they wouldn't go on original cost anyway. I mean, they're going to go on either repair to the condition it was before the flood, or if it's through mitigation funds, then they'll fund the cost of upgrading so that it won't happen again.
Right.
But we just don't know how they're going to,
Okay.
if they're gonna
Worst case
accept-
scenario don't sound too terribly bad either.
Right.
So,
Yeah, a couple questions. What's it look like? Like,
I asked them to make it very comparable to what we have. We can't have sharp edges at the top, and these will all be welded seams, so it won't be pieced together, it'll be all welded.
is it, so like all the metal fencing that isn't aluminum, but is actual, like, I guess a steel or some kind of clad that goes all along the creek by the softball field area? Like,
I showed them that as an example.
perfect. The only other part I have a question on, I don't know if I can orate it, but is there a way we can pull up a map? Because when you talk about the west side, and there's like a south side and a north side,
There's only
and then there's
fencing
east.
that we have, the black fencing it's on. It's like a U shape on the
Right.
west side, and there's,
But you're talking
kind of a
about
U-shape
all
on
of
the
the
east side.
U-shape?
Yes.
Oh, then
Pull
that's
it up.
great. I thought that
It's
maybe you were
100
saying, we're just doing
No,
that,
no,
the long
it's-
stretch, and it's
no,
like,
that whole
that's-
U, I believe it's
Okay.
like 156
Yeah, that's-
56 feet.
okay, that was
is
the
what-
part that I was kind of like, I think we should do the whole
so do you
U.
need a
Yeah.
map? Do you need a map pulled up?
If you would do it still, because I still want everybody else to kind of
Yeah, I
see
can-
what it is. If it's okay, it just maps, just, because we're talking about the fence that separates into the splash pad, the whole fence along the creek side, and then the south side, there's just a small portion that kind of feeds into going into where the little
Yes, the pavilion.
pavilion area is.
Yep.
But not the part that separates from where the upper parking area.
It is,
Awesome.
it is this to here.
Great.
This whole,
That's being replaced.
yes.
And can you point to the location of the fencing that's associated to what we're keeping the good aluminum for possibility of
It goes
all the way around?
Around the
around
playground.
here,
Gotcha.
to here, I believe.
And the stuff that separates the top part from the kind of the lower equipment area, like where the parking is, there's a fence there, and that's not a part of the aluminum build.
That's a different, I
It-
believe it's different.
I agree. I just wanted to make sure everybody kind of knew. Okay.
Yeah, not this.
Good, so that really goes around the west side of
Of
Billy's.
Billy's, yeah.
That's great. I thought that we were saying that it was just the one side. I'm like, I think you should do all of it.
No,
Like,
it's the whole U.
that's good. Okay, and the conversation that you had with D&K and J&M, was both of it the comments of, hey, try to make it as good, or did you communicate to both companies as, hey, I want it to look like this fencing down here by the ball fields, or?
Yes.
Okay, good. Cool. Did they come out
With
for
no
the,
sharp edges.
perfect, did they come out for the quote, or how did they?
D&K they've been there several times.
Awesome.
They're the one that helped me get the quote kind of put together to know exactly what I needed to be asking for. The J&M construction finally came down last week, and I got their estimate Monday.
Awesome.
And I met with him at the park.
Are both companies that the city's used before?
Yes.
I know J&M. Have we used D&K for fencing? Well, yes, they put in the airport gate. I mean, so we've used them on other projects.
Okay.
Yep, and they're putting in a gate at Al Brown Forest also through the Salem Most Spectacular.
Okay, great.
They've always been very communicative and very helpful.
Okay. That's all the questions I have. Thank you for pulling up the map.
You bet. You're welcome.
They also replaced, fabricated and replaced, I don't know if you remember the drain at the splash pad. It disappeared, and they got one
Oh,
for us to replace
a
it.
new
Found
cover
one
for it.
Yep.
Cool.
Melissa, is there any kind of warranty on that?
I haven't checked.
Okay. Because that hose side was damaged, right? Is that
Yes.
correct? Yeah.
Yes.
I'm just
With
wondering
the
for future references.
manufacturer- Or with them installing it now.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can check.
just wondering, okay.
Any other questions? If not, we'll go ahead and need a motion to approve the budget adjustment
And the fence bid.
and the fence.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to adjust the budget to accommodate for an approval to move forward with D&K fencing to provide the west side of Billy's Playground fencing to be updated and fixed with the new metal fencing.
I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. So moved, all in favor. Okay, we'll move into the second portion of this meeting. The recommendation for a board appointment, Mr. James Taylor. Luke, I think you introduced me to Mr. Taylor a while ago and talked with him, and then he sent in his information as to why he'd like to be on the board. And we all got to meet him last meeting, and I think it'd be a great addition to our board. I don't know if anybody else had anything else to say or to add. I'll give you that opportunity now.
Yeah, I don't have
I have no
anything additional to
comment.
say, but just, this is,
I have no comment.
Okay, well, we'll just need a motion to approve James Taylor to be recommended to the Board of Aldermen to be placed on the Parks and Rec Board.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, I'll second it. All in favor?
aye.
Aye.
What was his name again?
James Taylor.
Definitely not Forrest. Okay, we don't have other business on the agenda, so I don't know that we can really discuss other business or how that works. So at this point, we'll go ahead and adjourn this meeting. It is 5:14, probably the quickest Parks and Rec Board meeting in the history of Carlos Lopez, anyway. So, all right, well, we don't need a motion to adjourn, right? I can just adjourn?
Generally, you do with the motion.
Okay, I'll make a motion to adjourn.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, so moved. Thank you, everybody.